The Eagles did not expect to have a good problem at cornerback this offseason, but after an impressive minicamp, hear why one reporter thinks even Darius Slay's job could be in jeopardy from one of the young corners, plus an update on the Kelee Green jersey drama, and what Haason Reddick's holdout at Jets minicamp today means for the Birds. I'm Thomas Mott. This is The Thomas Mott Show. Quick update on yesterday's Kelee Green jersey fiasco following the whole Darius Slay going on a podcast and saying, "We're not wearing the throwback jerseys in 2024. Well, the Philadelphia Inquirer said they checked and the Eagles will be wearing the Kelee Green uniforms this coming season, although how many times, when, and against who is still TBD. Still not sure why Darius Slay went on a podcast and said, hey, we're not gonna wear the Kelee Green jerseys, nor why the Eagles didn't just come out and say, hey, he's wrong, we are gonna wear them. But at least we get confirmation from reputable sources, kind of, that they will be wearing the Kelee Green jerseys, so thumbs up for them coming back. Now, all eyes were on Florham Park, New Jersey yesterday to see if Haason Reddick would actually show up for Jets' mandatory minicamp, and as we all expected, he did not. Although apparently Isaiah Rodgers didn't show either, leaving Jets head coach Robert Saleh having to answer questions to the media about both of the absences.
No, so we've got two inexcused absences. One obviously being Haason. Spoke to him over the weekend. Appreciate the dialogue. He's in a really good place mentally, working his tail off like we already know, and but he's choosing to sit out this one inexcused. The second one is Aaron. Aaron and I spoke before OTA started. He's been very good in communication. He's been here the entire time. It's inexcused, but he had an event that was very important to him, which he communicated.
Now, on one hand, Eagle fans can definitely sit back and rejoice because Howie got rid of Haason Reddick, and now we don't have to deal with this whole massive contract headache. But still, what the heck were the Jets thinking sending a third-round draft pick without a new contract for a pass rusher who said he wouldn't play without a new contract? Now, Reddick's holding out. He's fined $16,000 for missing today, $33,000 for missing tomorrow, and has already forfeited his $250,000 workout bonus for not showing up. But in the end, this does technically come back to hurt the Eagles, though, because Reddick must play at least 67% of Jet snaps on defense and get 10-plus sacks this season for that 2025 third-round draft pick to become a second. And at the moment, it's looking pretty clear that Reddick is not going to get those numbers unless the Jets give him a new contract, which at this point, why haven't the Jets just gone ahead and give him a new contract if they wanted to give him a new contract? So right now, I'd say the 2025 third-round draft pick is looking like a 2025 third-round draft pick. Also, yesterday, we got the Madden 25 cover athlete release, which, of course, is not an Eagle, unfortunately. It's Christian McCaffrey for the San Francisco 49ers, following his pretty impressive 2023 season. McCaffrey, though, does become the first running back since Peyton Hillis on Madden 12 to actually grace the cover. And for those keeping count, no Eagle has been on the cover since Donovan McNabb did it back in 2006, a game I had on my Nintendo DS version 1. Which is kind of surprising because Eagle players are very popular. I mean, this past year, both Jalen Hurts and Jason Kelce were the top-selling NFL player merch players from March 2023 through February 2024, according to the NFLPA. Which has kind of made me wonder, besides Jalen Hurts, if you had to take a guess on which Eagle could be the Madden 26 cover athlete after the 2024 season, who would it be? Let me know down below in the comments section. AJ, Smitty, a surprise defender like Jalen Carter with a breakout year. Am I missing somebody? Saquon Barkley? Let me know your guess down below. Now, the Eagles' 2024 minicamp cover athlete, if there was such a thing, would almost surely go to a secondary player, right? Like, they all had an outstanding performance, all the Eagle DBs, over the past couple of weeks. For instance, one Eagles reporter, Brandon Lee Gouton, told me the other day that his pick for the minicamp standout of the entire past few weeks was Isaiah Rodgers.
I would go with Isaiah Rodgers. I really like how he moves. The way he breaks on the ball when, he's coming back to the ball, it's different than some of the other cornerbacks on this team. He looks so aggressive on those. He looks quick. He looks like he's poised to make big plays. He obviously had the pick 6 on Jalen Hurts in practice in the spring. And he's put himself in a position where he's certainly not guaranteed to be the week 1 starting quarterback across from Darius Slay. And, he's facing fierce competition from Kelee Ringo, from Quinyon Mitchell. But I think Isaiah Rodgers did really well, and he's put himself in a position where, coming into minicamp, I think there's more of a question of, is this guy even definitely going to make the roster? I think it's clear that he's going to make a roster barring some kind of trade or something. And it's just a matter of if he's going to be starting or not. And I think he's done only everything to really help himself, that Johnny Wilson play aside.
And overall, it's not hard to argue. Like, Rodgers had a lot of first-team reps during OTAs, although once minicamp hit, he did kind of shuffle in and out of first-team reps, especially with Kelee Ringo. Ringo has turned out to be such a wrench, in a good way, thrown at the Eagles this offseason. Like, think back to when the Eagles drafted him in the 4th round last year. All everyone kept saying was, we like his size, his straight-line speed is fantastic, but he's way too raw, maybe not quick enough laterally, maybe he should move to safety. Like, these were all conversations around Kelee. And despite getting some starting reps due to injuries at corner later in the year, he didn't really show that much promise. At least he didn't show that he was going to be a future stud at cornerback. Fast forward to minicamp just a couple of days ago, not only did he get the majority of first-team reps at cornerback, one Eagles reporter told WIP yesterday that Ringo was the best corner on the field during every single one of those camp reps.
If they had a lineup today for week 1, at the 5 starting spots in the secondary, obviously I'm including the slot corner, who would their 5 starters be?
All right, well, one of my big takeaways from the spring, and I try not to overrate the spring, I thought Kelee Ringo was the best cornerback on the field from the practices I saw. Second-year player. He's still younger than Quinyon Mitchell, and I thought he looked fantastic. Remember, he started 4 games last year, and I thought he acquitted himself pretty well. So having said that, if I'm looking ahead, I still think you're going to have Quinyon Mitchell and Darius Slay on the outside. I think you're going to have Cooper Dejean in the slot, and then I think you're going to have Reed Blankenship and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson at safety. So I think that would be my guess right now, but I'm not handing that spot over to Quinyon Mitchell because I thought Kelee Ringo played really, really well in the spring, and if this is a player who's making a leap, and you're Vic Fangio, you say, I want the player who can help us beat the Packers. Yeah. I don't care who was drafted when.
The crazy thing about all of this is it's so clear the Birds had no clue Ringo would be this good in year 2. Like, you don't draft Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper Dejean, get Isaiah Rodgers back from being suspended if you thought Ringo was going to not only be good, but be a starter at outside corner. And despite being only in year 2, Ringo is the youngest non-rookie on the entire team. He's 21 years old, 22 in a couple of weeks. That's younger than first-round draft pick Quinyon Mitchell. And while yes, it's minicamp and it's OTAs and you got to wait till the pads get on and actual get training camp sort of things happening, there's no guarantee he's going to earn the starting spot, but his maturity at the podium and also on the football field seem night and day different from his time at UGA.
Man, huge. I feel like the best thing that can help you with that is definitely reps, so having a year under my belt has definitely helped me be able to be more calm with my play, and I'm also just seeing what offenses are doing against me and strategies and things like that.
What are the differences that you notice in your own game from year 1 to year 2?
I would say a little bit more my patience, my process in the game. When the ball's like I'm not having to think as much as I used to. So I feel like that just slows the game a lot more for me, so you're able to play faster when you think less.
Again, this is a good problem to have. This is a good wrench thrown in the Eagles' offseason plan. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. We would have killed to have this many great cornerbacks even last year, maybe even 2022 during the Super Bowl run. Still, though, it's going to be fascinating to see what the Eagles are going to do with the current cornerback situation, especially going forward in his training camp. But what happens if 2 of the 3 other cornerbacks are still looking better than Darius Slay? You got to remember, Darius Slay has an out in his contract at the end of the year, which almost feels like a for sure now, just based on the rising talent behind him and the dead cap hit, but he's also 33 years old and definitely struggled mightily at times last year, especially in that 49er game. Like, every throw was right in front of Darius Slay. I wonder if the rise of Ringo, Rodgers, and hopefully the blossoming of Quinyon Mitchell in training camp has put a lot more pressure on the seasoned vet. And while I don't think Darius Slay is instantly going to lose his starting job, I think it would take, actually struggling in games. Even if he struggles in training camp, they're not going to take it away from a veteran, a Pro Bowler, a captain of this football team. If we get to week 6 or 7 and it's like, okay, Ringo's great on one side or Rodgers is great on one side, but we also have a little bit of struggle from Darius Slay, would Vic Fangio be bold enough to make a switch and start the younger cornerbacks on both sides of the football field and put Darius Slay on the bench? Again, offseason speculation, offseason problems to have, which again are good problems to have. I mean, it's been so long since we've had quality cornerbacks on both sides and on the depth chart. Fascinating to see your guys' thoughts though on this. Do you think it's Ringo and Slay? Do you think it's Rodgers and Slay? Is it somebody else? Let me know your cornerback duo down below right now. We have plenty more stuff happening the next couple of days and weeks, including tomorrow night, Wednesday Link Live. Myself, Josh Davis, we're going to give away our meet and greet ticket to meet Devontae Smith at his celebrity softball game coming up in a couple of weeks. If you haven't entered yet, you can do that on Sunday's show. Also, just be subscribed. That's the easy way to do it. Myself and Josh Davis's channel. Stay tuned for that, though. We're going to announce the winners tomorrow night on Thomas Mott on a Tuesday. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.